everyone, Gina McGlynn with another episode of Life and Stories. In today's story, I'm going to be chatting with Jeff Halsey, who's from Syracuse, New York. Disclaimer, he's also my oldest brother. And we have a big game in town here in Tampa, the Super Bowl, and actually Tampa Bay's in it. And I kind of wanted to, it doesn't matter, you know I don't like football. So I kind of wanted to talk about another game that happened in Tampa when they played Denver Broncos a few years ago. And my brother, it is my nephew, were flying in. It was October because I know I was inconveniently out of town.
October 6th.
Yeah, because it was right near my birthday. You know, Fred and I were going to be going for our annual birthday vacation. And so tell us about that weekend.
Well, to start off, Tina, I had moving towards that actual day. I had a very busy weekend, so Jesse and I had to fly in the same day of the game, which normally I don't like to do.
Remember, yes.
So as we know, Tampa is a very busy airport.
Yeah.
So a ton of fans, Denver fans coming. It was just a complete mess. But anyway, before that, I had two major DJ gigs. I had a one that I was doing for 18 plus for college, and then I had one I was doing for the teenagers. So I had back-to-back gigs, and I had a wedding also on Saturday. So Danielle Roche, who's a friend of mine, she could tell that I was under the weather. I got through the wedding, no, I killed it. You know what I mean? I got through the actual the college was a college techno party. I got through that. And Larry, my partner at the time, knew what I was feeling under the weather because after I did my DJ set, I had to go back and lay down. I thought it was the common flu. I had no idea what was wrong with me at the time. As we all know, for people that don't know, MRSA still is it's not a common staph infection that happens. It's not that common. And that's why today doctors still have a hard time having people heal from it. Once you get it in your system, it's there for life. It doesn't go away. So what happened was Jesse and I flew into to Tampa. Things were okay. I took some aspirin, went to the game. At the time, we had a lot of rain and thunderclouds in the area. Yep. Okay, and the game got halted several times. So after the third quarter, Jesse and I decided to go back to our hotel because we had plans for dinner. And when it was raining on me, it felt like pins hitting my skin. Yeah. Like people were just stabbing me, and I just knew something else was wrong. And unfortunately, my son didn't know at the time, and of course, you know, he wanted to spend some time with his dad. I couldn't leave the hotel room, and I didn't leave the hotel room for the 4 days we were in town. A lot of sweat, a lot of cold sweat. I just thought I had the common flu. I had no idea. Yeah. So at this point, we're going October 6th. According to my doctor, I had the infection for almost 7 days to this point. Okay. So
you called me.
Flights were delayed.
Do you remember calling me? Do you remember calling me?
Yes. I remember talking to you. I know you said you could tell that something was wrong with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked you, I said, you know, what's going on? And you said that you were outside the stadium. You were trying to get to your hotel that I think I booked it for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think, I knew. And I said, what's going on? And you said, I don't feel well. And but you were like, you sounded out of it. Like it was weird. And I knew something was up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was heat stroke because it was very hot that day.
Yeah, like I said, the first half of the game, I was okay. Yeah. I didn't want to walk around a lot. Jesse went and got her drinks. I didn't feel like eating. So, and of course, my Broncos won, so I was happy. But spend time with my son is very rare. So it was, you know, something I want to do. We had plans to go to Busch Gardens. We had all these plans, and you know, my son was disappointed, and he was kind of selfish about it. He didn't know it at the time. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So I just told him I couldn't leave, Jesse. I felt weak. Our flights were delayed. We went to the airport. I was so sick, Tina, that I had them put me in a hotel room. Jesse waited till 2 a.m. No, there's Penny trying to, it's not live. Jesse waited till 2 a.m. He flew to Syracuse.
Yeah, from Charlotte, right? Where you got, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they put me up in the hotel. Again, my flight got delayed on that Wednesday. And so I didn't fly out and I didn't get home to Syracuse till almost 6:30 at night. And I went right to bed. So I went. So the next day, this is a Thursday now. I was working for Bada Bing at the time. I went and did all my work for Tommy and everything. and I still feel like crap. And so when I brought all the pay envelopes to him, he just looked at me, he goes, Jeff, something's wrong with you, man. You're ashy. He goes, you got to get to the hospital. So called our brother Mark, number 2, called Mark, said, listen, something's not right. Meet me at the VA. So when they got me in there, I collapsed in the ER where I check-in room, and I could not walk. So actually, let me jump back a little bit. When I parked in the ER, the security guard was there. I had trouble walking from the van to the ER, so he helped me. So then I collapsed in there. Dr. Aziz, who was my doctor at the time, she lifted up my shirt and my whole stomach was black. So what happened now is that the virus is now turned into a flesh-eating disease.
Yeah.
And it was at my intestinal wall. Now, hindsight being 2020, if I waited another day and it would have got into my intestines, I was in for a long, long run. So
or maybe
fortunate for me, he couldn't believe me. And he go, how long? She goes, this has been 10 days. You should not even be, alive really, Luckily for me, I had a iron, whatever. And so at this point, I still know what was wrong with me. So she says to me, she goes, well, you gotta have surgery. You got the infection. You gotta get it out. I go, what do you want, tomorrow? She goes, no, now. Poor Mark. I'm throwing keys at him, throwing my credit cards at him. I said, I got a gun in the van. You got to get it out of here. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to call this person. You got to call that person. And he handled it. He handled it. Of course, he called mom. Then I'm sure you got the phone call. And he told everybody on Facebook, listen, this is not a joke. My brother's about to go under some serious surgery. So, and I remember waking up. I had a trachea in my mouth, in my throat. I flipped off the doctor. I was a very bad patient. They had me in the restraints because apparently I tried to take the trachea out. So they had to restrain me.
Oh, geez.
A lot of people were there. Mom, Megan, the girl I was dating at the time, Noelle, Mark. I mean, a lot of people were there. And still at this point, I didn't know what was wrong with me. So I fell back asleep, woke up to mom. And I said, Mom, Jesus, was this Thursday night? She goes, no, Jeff. She goes, it's Saturday. I was out for 2 days.
Wow.
And come to find out, I had 2 surgeries, not 1, but 2. So finally, the doctor came in and he said, you had MRSA. And I didn't know what it was. I had no clue. And so, and he says, we lost you after the first one. You went, you coded. And that was, it doesn't, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. The second time I beat death. And then he goes, the second time we had to take more infection just above your genitalia. So they had to take a section. I got a 1-foot-long scar from my stomach all the way to the back end by my spine. And I had a scar right above my genitalia. So with MRSA, they can't beat it with antibiotics until they take it out of you. So they have to take it out of you.
Because it won't do any good, right?
Yeah, so it's an open wound. So at this point, I have an open wound, 2 open wounds.
Yeah.
And then the doctor came and told me I had MRSA. And of course, me, as soon as I was able to, I got right on Google and I had to find out as much as I could because I hate not knowing. I hate surprises.
No, I hear you. Yeah. I hear you.
And of course, our mother tried to say, you don't need your phone. I said, give me my goddamn telephone. I'm not 14 years old anymore. She tried, though. She tried. But humbling experience. My nurses were both male. They had to wipe my butt. It's not easy for a guy like me, as you know, your brother's full of life. He tells it like it is, and
proud.
A lot of big mouth. And when you have 2 male nurses taking care of you because you can't, humbling experience.
I'm sure.
I can't say how much the VA did for me, although it's been a struggle since that's happened. They had put a wound vac machine on me. What that does is it constantly cleans out the infection. I have to empty it, clean it out. I had to carry that for almost 4 months. It's a whole other thing, and it clogs on you. It's frustrating. You got to sleep with it.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. So it's and I'm still dealing with it today. So what happens is out now, how just like now I had a boil on my stomach about this big, about the size, little size of a 50-cent piece.
Okay.
I popped the boil. I didn't know at the time, Tina, but that escalated the infection.
Yeah, sure.
So since then, they're moving 4 or 5 years down the road. I've had 3 more come up. I don't pop them anymore. I just had one last week. I call a VA. I said, Dr. Reagan, I got another boil. He goes, get your ass in here. They drain it on me. They bag me. They put an IV. They put steroids, which, you know, people think of my obesity is not, a lot of it's medicated because they keep pumping steroids in me. And there's no other way I can, you know, access myself to keep going. And I just, it's been a very hard process, Tina. It's very difficult.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah.
So,
and MRSA, there's another word for it that I can never pronounce, the medical term. I know it starts with an N.
Yeah, it's got a real funny name.
And
let's put it this way: it's a staph infection times 10.
Yeah, that goes unchecked. And at the time, and I remember at the time, like I said, there were 3 young people who had died of it here in Florida. So I know they were focusing on the fact that you were in Florida, because Mark called me and he goes, okay, what happened when Jeff, you know, what do you know when Jeff was in there? And I told Mark, he was already sick when he got to Florida. You need to tell the VA doctors that Jeff was already sick the minute he landed. I talked with him and he wasn't right, you know, so I knew that was important because I knew they were trying to figure out how you got it. And, you know, and I know, and I understand why they were focusing on you being in Florida, because we had just had national cases, you know, that was sad that some kids had, you know, got it from each one of them, 3 of them had got it from, you know, the water here, brackish water.
Yeah. I got it, Tina, for you. It's a methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Refers to a group of gram-positive bacteria that are genetically distract from other strains of Staph nucleus, which is areas with staph. MRSA is responsible for several difficult to treat infections in humans. It still is to this day.
Yeah, so, it is. Yeah, it's life-threatening, you know.
Yep. And like I said, it says a bump or affected area in the skin that may be red, swollen, or painful, warm to the touch, full of pus or drainage. It's important you contact your healthcare provider whenever it begins. You cannot pop it because it'll accelerate it.
Yeah.
So it's been, it's like I said, I just had another one, you know, less than 10 days ago, and it's just my life now. It is what it is, you know. It's just
be cautious.
Kind of depressing, really, but
don't. You know why? So, you know, let's talk about that. You're here for a reason.
Okay.
Right? You almost you got ran over years ago. You could have died then. You got MRSA, and a lot of people die from that. So you're here. Have a purpose, brother.
Yeah. No, you know what it is, and I'll say it without hell's not ready for me yet. They don't want me to take it over. Satan's not ready to turn it over to me. So it's but someday it'll be mine. Someday.
I don't know. You really want to go to hell? I want to be reincarnated. I want to be a goat. I want to
reincarnated as that tree behind you. It's as a coconut. But yeah, it's just you know, Tina, it's hard. It's because I was handling. I'm not saying, listen, my mom, you know, she tidied up the apartment for me. Mark was fantastic. Mark, and that's why, you know, when Mark had COVID, I tried to do my best to help him out. But him and Nancy were great. They really went to bat for me. Mark paid my bills for me at the time, the ones that didn't go through my phone. And he was outstanding. He really was.
You were sick for a long time. How long?
Yeah, 4 months. 4 months before I finally got out of it. I got rid of it. And I had an outstanding wound specialist, Christine. She was fantastic, as my doctors are today, as you know. Because of the MRSA, I got that situation in my genitalia again. I just had a lot of surgery on that. And matter of fact, I got my appointment Tuesday. The doctors I have and stuff, they've been great.
Good.
They're concerned about my obesity because of it, but it's hard. One good thing I can say, because of the fact I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, is the fact that my labs came back pretty decent. So, you know, no diabetes or anything like that. You know, I'm okay. Plus, I changed my eating habits. Had to change them. A lot more vegetables, a lot more grapefruit juice. Had to do it, Tina. I can't continue to kill myself slowly.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, that's a whole other podcast, my Smart Sense, wellness life program. And, you know, I transitioned from, not transitioned, but I added sugar and carb addiction because it's the same thing as drug and alcohol. It's the same reward. you
It's really
know,
it's
and the
tough.
funny thing is, though, I remember the conversation that a very rude doctor said to mom, well, you're lucky your son's obese, he'd be dead. I mean, and I'm like,
Right.
it's not rude, but if it was true, great, but still, he had horrible bedside manner. So you know what? Sometimes we go through things in life for a reason, right? We go through tough
One
times.
last thing I want to share with your people is that how I got it, and I know I got it this way. It says MRSA is usually spread through the community by contact with infected people or things that are carrying the bacteria. This includes thorough contact with contaminated wound, air by sharing personal items such as towels or razors that have touched infected skin. Now, I will say I've never done that. I keep my circle very small, but I will say I think I got mine because I used to shave my whole body at the time. Not anymore. Doctor had to have me grow the hair in. And I think that's not what happens when you shave it in a area which you normally don't shave, and any kind of bacteria, sweat gets in there, and that's another way that it can grow. So I think that's how I got it, Tina. Unless, of course, I got it sitting in a dirty sofa or something, that could happen too. I don't know, but I like to believe that's what happened because it didn't happen in Florida; it happened in New York. So
yeah, no, I knew that. I knew
sick.
that because you were already sick by the time you got here. When I talked to you, and I knew that. But like I said, that that is life altering. Did you knowing it was serious? Did you change anything after it happened? Did you have any epiphany, or did you just say, well, or was it not?
I gave up. I sat home. I ate crap. I ate like crap. I didn't care anymore. I gave up. I gave up the whole time. I didn't want to be around anybody. I had the stupid wound vac machine. I felt like it. And at that point, I lost like 60 pounds. I was already going back to the gym, and I lost weight. And now this, and then the woe is me. Why me? You go through all that. You know what I mean? And it's tough. What people need to realize is no matter if I'm 200 pounds or 400 pounds, I'm still Jeff Halsey. I'm still the same guy. And people in life have to understand that. You know what I mean? I never see a person who's sick or one of my friends. I mean, I'm seeing my friends drop like flies. I just lost another friend yesterday. Denise Bullis just passed away. I don't think you know her, but she's from my Pop Warner family. And it just now we just lost our beloved Uncle Tony just last year. And now we're seeing, our family start, dying away. And it's when you get that all in your head, it's just, it messes with you. You know what I mean?
But in all fairness, Uncle Tony was 91.
Yes, true. And you're right, Tina, you're right. But my point is that it doesn't help with depression is my point.
No, it doesn't. No, I have to agree. I do. But, I was just wanted to talk about that because to me, that was the second time in my eyes, the way I look at it, of something that is life altering, if you will, like to go through something like that, where there was a potential that you could have lost your life, and coming out of it.
I didn't handle it well, Tina. I could have handled it a lot better if that's what you're looking for. I was just
your story, but I want to say is some people, it's an epiphany. Some people use it as a catalyst. You know what I mean? To affect a change in a psyche. I mean, I would like to think as your sister, not as podcast commenter, that you have to look back at your life, because that's what I do. And all these things happen where weaker people would have passed, and say, you know what, I am here for a reason. So it's
been better recently, even though I'm heavy, but it's been better recently. I've
had not your body, right?
Yeah, but my thing is that with the pandemic, and me, as a woe is me, I get a great DJ business. It's been decimated because this governor doesn't want to release this. But whatever the case, depression is the easy way out because it's easy to be depressed. It's more harder to focus on good things in life because that takes more thinking. Depression, you just go depression. Okay, I'm depressed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I just can't. Listen. Our mother's 75 years old.
Yeah,
she's got beautiful skin.
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. Really. I know she moves a little slower, but our mother still looks fantastic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
with
that being said, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, we have good DNA, and it's never, you'll hopefully something will just stick with you. Some people some people live with their depression and they're good at managing it. But it takes everybody has a different path. That's why it was really important for me to figure out between me and my board of directors to offer free mental health counseling in our community. And we were going to do it last year, but then COVID hit, but now we finally got a grant to do that. And that's if we handled our physical health or handled our mental health the same way our physical health. So in other words, everyone should have access to mental health the same way everybody, no matter who you are and how poor you are, has access to some sort of physical help. We'd definitely be a better country. But and that's the thing, is that your physical well-being and your mental well-being are partners.
Right.
So people who are happy and feel good about themselves are less likely to what I call the emotional eating. I've been emotional eating for the last 6 months, but if you may not have heard me on my Smart Sense, but I finally did a video saying, you know what, I have to stop because, I haven't had a hysterectomy in August. My scars are starting to hurt because I've gained weight because I'm emotionally eating. I think all of us, may be something in our DNA on one side of our DNA that's just ingrained, and then we turn to food for comfort, because it's easy.
Well, I'm not going to bring up any bad things, but that's part of our upbringing too.
Yeah. So, but I just was thinking about, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because to me, I always thought, wow, my brother went through this thing and it's huge, and I've been going to therapy for years. And I always wonder at what point when people have something life altering, do they look back on it and hopefully say, you know what, I'm here for a reason. That's all I just want to tell you. You're here for a reason.
More recent lately, obviously it's easier for you. You got Fran there. I have really nobody. Dave's in Virginia. I miss him dearly. Penny's been a great friend. I talk to her every day. She's been an outstanding friend. She's been very
system.
She's a very supportive. She's fantastic. And I talk to Mom twice a week, and I try to stay in touch with my family. I talk to Mark every week. Michael's a little harder, but we start. Family's important. You know what I mean? I didn't think that, but I'll tell you, Tina. The only thing I'll tell you, this whole thing did to me. It humbled me because at that point, I didn't think I needed family. I didn't think I was on top of the world. I can't be touched. And well, that's not true anymore because I was really weak. You know what I mean? So
no, I get it. I was the same way. I was always headstrong, and I didn't, did things independently on my own. But I will say, I teach people in my Tuesday class that, life is to be happy, and I would like to think that people would just aspire to be happy, and then all the other things kind of fall into place. When I focus on just being happy, and having a fulfilling life, things fell into place for me. Especially 2018 was not a good year for me.
No.
But I moved past it, and then I said, you know what? All I need to know is that I'm happy. And of course, yes, I'm very blessed to have a wonderful relationship with my husband. But I get help. I get professional help. I focus on me, self-care, right?
Yeah.
Self-care. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. Toxicity, negative people, I don't care. Even if they're my family, they have no place in my life.
Well, you saw my post, and they come in all phases. I just won't tolerate it. You know what I mean? I'll say it. I don't care. But Ron Bowers telling me that I made up everything about Dave Bowers. Don't come in like that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, man. But don't do it, Tina. I'm serious.
Yep. Huh? I hear it. I understand.
Don't come at me with that nonsense, because I don't want to hear it, because it still hurts. And I'm not trying to bring up bad things, because I love our mother very much, and she's had enough of that, and I get it. But don't come at me. Don't come at me out of the blue and then call me out on Facebook, because that stuff's not that happened. I don't need that. You know what I mean? No, I don't need it.
I had the similar situation, and so I'm very friendly with his ex-wife, and that again.
Linda's awesome, though.
Yeah,
Linda's awesome, Tina.
Push the toxic people. All I'm asking you to do as your sister, I just need you to push the toxic people out of your life, no matter who they are.
Doing my best, sis. You saw, like I said, you saw my post. It comes in all shapes and sizes, and friends and family. And I just, and just like I said, before I did a certain wedding, I just told people that big. You saw the post. I'm not called Big Jeff. My name is Jeff. Either you call me two things. Woman can call me Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You call me Jeff. You call me Halls. That's it. There's no big in front of it because I don't like it. Okay. You know what I mean?
and you should, and you shouldn't. There's no, it was never your nickname. But I will say again, keep your chin up, because I know you're here for a reason.
Thanks, sis.
I know you're here for a reason. You're, that's for sure, because you've been through, hell and back. And, I just wanted, give you a platform to share your story. And on the other side, you're being very humble, but you were near death. And you, so
twice now. It's first time when I got hit by the truck. Obviously, that I can't believe I made it through that. And then this time, so I've been somewhere up there.
You're here for a reason, brother. Find out what it is.
You're right, Tina. You're right. You're right.
But well, thank you for talking with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, this is Tina McGlynn, Life and Stories, and talking with Jeff Halsey. And next time, we're going to talk about his fun stuff, his business.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I know he has stories.
I have many.
So we're gonna follow back around with Jeff and hear some crazy stories next time. But thanks for listening. Tina McGlynn with Life and Stories, and I will see you all soon.